All praises to the Mighty Most High. Shalom. This is Rap the Noose's wife. Today I am going to be reading some scripture from a lesson he did called Few Are Chosen. I also added a few scriptures at the end, which is about change. Few are indeed chosen. Not many of us are going to the kingdom. And you must change. You must make a change within yourself. It's not about your outsides, as in your looks. It's about your outsides as in being decent, dressing decent, not hindering others. And that's what your actions, your look, your thoughts, deception, whatever it may be. It's about that changing what's in your heart. Once what's in your heart and your mind changes, and you are blessed with the Most High Spirit to help you along the way, then you have a chance of making it. We must know that it's the Most High's decision. Altogether it's His decision. And we must know that we have to work towards making it. It's not coming to us for free, like we sin and then someone else takes the blame for it or covers for it. And that's whether it's people believing in Jesus, or whether it's people just believing in people, or things, objects, whatever it may be. Nothing and no one can take the place and cover for you doing wrong. You have to realize that you will have no excuses. There will be nothing that can be done after your chance is over. You pass. Once you pass, it's just judgment. We're under judgment even at this time with the things we do and say and think, but you still have a chance as long as you're here. You have breath. But once you don't, there's no more. That's it. You made your decision, and you must make a choice. I want to say that. You must make a choice. You have to choose. You're going to either choose to do the Most High's commandments, or you're going to choose to do the Satan's commandments. The end. And just to let you know, the Most High created and owned Satan and every creation, animals, man, woman, child, the trees, the hills, and mountains. The Most High owns it all. There is nothing that can be done without the Most High. There is nothing that, if He says no to, it's not happening. If He says yes, then it's going to happen, no matter what anyone says or does. That's where people, have to realize that you truly don't have any power, And I do realize a lot of people think they have that, and they can make things happen and will them with their mind. Good luck. If it comes to you, it's only because the Most High let it, and it's not always for a good reason. Sometimes it's your punishment. And then, if you don't get it, it's not always for a bad reason. Sometimes it's your blessing. Because in the end of that, you'll see a blessing out of that, and why you are very happy you did not pursue whatever it was, or do whatever it was, or, be with whoever it was. So I just want to read about that today, and about few were chosen, and like I said, there's a few verses at the end that I also added about change. So I want to say to DeAndre, to you and your mom, stay safe. I hope you have a safe trip. I'm praying you have a safe trip, and be safe. You know, it's a lot going on. And for everyone else, be safe, stay safe. This right here, this lesson, I did a video on it before when I said I had 2 other videos in my, either my last video or my video before that. And I really, it's been pressing on my mind to read this. I haven't done videos in a while. I've been contemplating on different things. Not that I was not quitting videos or anything, because I'm not going to do that if the Most High wills, because I know everything is in His hands. But just things in my life and my movement from here. So I want to start out with the title is Few Are Chosen. And I'm going to start out with what my husband stated before the scriptures. He said, "This is how this world is to me. I see in color and they see in black and white. And I'm trying to explain color to people who can only see black and white. In fact, they all believe you're nuts for stating color exists." And this is true. This is true. I learned this a long time ago as well. Anytime you're different, anytime you want to serve the Most High, you're not just going with the world, with the norm that they do. You're not chasing after money, things, objects, material. You know, you're not looking up to what they call celebrities, because, you know, to me, they're not celebrities. They're just humans just like we are. They're not stars, they're not celebrities, they're just humans. But anytime, you know, you're not doing these things, and you're not just going with, you know, the norm, you know, then you're looked at as you need some help for your brain. I'll put it that way. You're looked at as, you know, you don't have it all. You're missing something because you're going with the Most High. But it's to the contrary. We think above what the norm thinks. We're thinking beyond now. We're thinking about what lies ahead of us. You're not going to be in this world always. There's going to come a time when you're not going to be here, and you're going to have to face the Most High. And I know some don't believe in that, or do they? Because it's questionable. I think they know, but they don't want to know, you know, and they are misled, as well as others, by Satan. You know, but they choose to be, because if you stay in that, you dwell in that, you fester in that, then that's what you want to do. Everyone falls, everybody fails, and, you know, but if you are a believer and you don't get back up and do what the Most High calls for, then you wanted to do that. You're festering in it. You know, you're festering in your desires, exactly what you wanted to do. And for those who don't believe, you're festering in it, what you want to do. You know, people need to stop pretending like it's not what they want to do. This is what you want to do. This is the way you want to act. So I'm going to get to the scriptures. Hosea 14:9. Whosoever is wise, let him understand these things. Whosoever is discerning, let him know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the righteous walk in them, but the rebellious stumble in them. So if you're wise and understanding and discerning, then you know that the ways of the Lord is right, and you walk in them. You know, you are going to do what the Most High wants you to do. You're not going to fail in serving the Most High. Even if you fall, even if you may fail in some things or whatever, you're going to keep working on it until you Get it right with the Most High. And yes, you need the Most High's help. We fail when we think that we can do it all alone and by ourselves, and we don't need the Most High, and we got some kind of power. But people have to learn that. Proverbs 11:31. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more than the wicked and the sinner. So, we shall be recompensed, and it may not be what you think it is. Like, people think money and material and this and that is, that's the only thing that's good. That's only, if you don't got that, these cars or this or that, then you have nothing. Well, as long as you have the Most High, you have everything. As long as you have the Spirit of the Most High, and you can discern and you can see and you have wisdom, well, you have the riches you need, to be on the path, the straight and narrow path to make it. You have an outlook for not just this world, but the future after you pass, and that is wisdom. And wisdom is worth more than all the jewels you can, amass. We have to realize that wisdom comes from the Lord. Knowledge comes from the Lord. People think they're knowledgeable, but when you get with the Lord, when you get with the Most High, when you start changing and the Spirit is in you, you start realizing that the things you did were very, very, very stupid and unwise. You start realizing that you couldn't even see straight, and He opened your eyes to a lot of things. It's going to be gone. It can be demolished, what they think they have. But the Most High is forever, everlasting. His Spirit is everlasting, and His kingdom is everlasting. So, 1 Peter 4:18. If the righteous are barely saved, then what will happen to the ungodly sinners? So, if the righteous are barely saved, we as the righteous, or we who call ourselves righteous, and we who are striving to do what the Most High wants us to do, and no, we are not perfect, but we're striving to do what the Most High wants us to do. We're striving to follow His commandments. But if we barely make it, we're barely saved. We barely make it into the kingdom. That's saved. When you make it into the kingdom, if we barely make it, then what will happen to the ungodly sinners? We know they're going to the pit. They're going to hell. And there's nothing but torment and torture there. Isaiah 10:22. Though your people be as numerous as the sands of the sea, only a remnant will return. Destruction has been decreed. So, the Most High's chosen, the Most High's people, we are as numerous as the sands of the sea, but only a remnant will return to the Most High. It's been called the New Jerusalem. It's been called, the New Earth, the New World. But regardless, we know that only a remnant will return. Not many of us are going, is what I'm saying. Not many of us will see the kingdom. We'll see the new world. We'll see anything. We will face destruction. And when I say we, I'm saying we as a people. We'll face destruction. It's been decreed already. If you don't get on the right path, if we don't get on the right path, if we don't do what the Most High wants us to do, regardless of what's happening and what's being said by those who do not believe, or those who say they believe, but then they're leading you the wrong way. They're hindering you. Whether they say they're doing it on purpose or not, the thought has came into their mind at one point that they know that they're not right, or they know that they're being not truthful, not right. And yes, a lot of people say, well, Satan and took them over. True. Yeah, but they let that happen because that whatever it was their desire to do. They could have went to the Most High. They could have prayed. They could have fasted. They could have been truthful. But they chose to do that. Like I said, we fall, but then they didn't choose to get back up and say, okay, I'm sorry to the Most High. They didn't choose to admit and be accountable for their deeds and what they did. They didn't choose to do that. They chose to lie to themselves because they really wanted to do whatever it was. That was their desire. That sin, whatever it was their desire. So the Satan was able to come in, of course. So, it's about work. People think you don't have to work. Working righteousness. Working to be what the Most High wants you to be. Working towards perfection. Yes, we may not never make it toward perfection, or we won't until we enter the kingdom. But you're still supposed to work towards that. You're still supposed to tell people about the Most High. You're still supposed to care about salvation. And you still are supposed to do what's right. You don't fall and then keep falling. So, I'm saying this because so many in the world are falling. And so many were raised, to know God, to do what's right, taught by their parents to do what's right, and they're choosing the wrong way. And then you blame the devil, but you can't blame the devil because you went along with it. That's like somebody said, come on, and you blame them because you chose to go with them when you could have said, no, I'm not going. You weren't forced, you weren't picked up, and taken off, and nothing was put to your head. So you have to think about that. Isaiah 35:8. There will be a highway called the way of holiness. The unclean will not travel it. Only those who walk in that way. So only those who follow the commandments. Only those who walk in the way of the Most High. Only those who walk down that narrow, steep road will walk that way. The sinners, those who chase after money, women, men, whatever you're chasing after, I don't know. Those who let themselves be taken over and don't even put up a fight in the least. You're not gonna walk down that road to the kingdom. You're not gonna make it. You may think you are. I know some people, they just think they are. They think they go through life just sinning, and then I hear people say, oh, they went to heaven. And I'm just telling you about me. I will say, no, I don't believe that. Like, I can't prove it. I am not the Most High. But I will say, I don't think so. I don't believe that. Because you can't just sin and sin and sin and then think you're just going to make it to heaven. Because if sinners just can make it to heaven, then why would the Most High put out scripture? This is our, roadmap to what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to act. And so the Most High does not waste his time, nor does he change. He doesn't change. And why would he just, I'm just put this out, but, they're still going to go to heaven. You have to think about that. They're doing all sorts of things, but they're still going to make it. It doesn't happen that way. And we know it doesn't happen that way. So this is something that has to be thought about. Would it make sense for you to do that with your child? You tell them what to do. You put out your commandments and what you're not going to do and what you are going to do. But yet, they disobey it and there's no consequences or nothing, and they still get that, treat. They still get whatever they want. And parents that do that, well, you're going to have, I'm just going to say, pretty much a monster on your hands. And I don't believe that the Most High would have, like, monsters in heaven, like people who are going to just be sitting doing all kind of everything, because that would not make sense when you read the scriptures. You can't just do anything and think you're going to make it. Like Sodom and Gomorrah, people with Moses, and Noah's Ark, and Joseph, his brothers. You can't just do anything and think that there will be no repercussions for what you've done, or what you said, or what you thought. The truth overpowers a lie, just like good overpowers evil, and truth is going to come to the light. Matthew 7:13. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it, but small is the gate, and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. It's only a few are going to find it. That narrow road, that's, small gate, to going to the kingdom. Destruction, the gate is wide, as we can see. We see destruction and all kind of chaos and craziness all around. That's happening a lot. That gate is wide, A lot of people are doing this. A lot of people are going astray, or just things are happening, as we know. And it's only a few hanging in there. And are we being attacked? Yes, we are. Are we being tried and tested? Yes, we are. And some of the things that we're going through are punishment for the things we did. Yes, they are. But you'd rather pay here than to pay there. I don't want to pay in the pit. You're going to pay over and over again. You're not going to just pay and, cease to be. It's just going to keep happening over and over again. It's torment forever. We have to get ourselves together. Stop following the world and everything they do. Stop following every single thing that they do that is wrong. If you're going to follow anything, follow the people that are doing something right, the people that are following the Most High, the people who are getting themselves together. Proverbs 16:25. There is a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So men and women, because when it says men, it's talking about people. There's a way that seems right to people. It seems like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. There's a lot of people who think they are right, and they are not, or they're not living right. We don't want to see the Most High, and He says, I do not know you. I never knew you. You don't want that to happen. You don't want Him to not look at you and just send you to the pit. You have to search yourself. You have to ask the Most High, am I doing what's right? Should I do it a different way? And a lot of people don't pray or don't ask the Most High what they should do and how they should do it. So we have to stop, looking right in our own eyes, or looking at other people like they're so right. Search. Even when I'm talking, even when my husband was talking, I heard him say, read the scriptures for yourself. I've also said that. If anyone, even the young people, DeAndre, Heaven, Israel Restored, if they're talking, search the scriptures. See if it's right. I'm saying the scriptures right now. See if it's right. See if you can ask the Most High for discernment, and He give it to you. No one's asking you to just follow anybody or follow anything that's said. See if it's in the book. See if it's right. See if it's part of the Most High's commandments. Does it sound right? Or does it sound like something Satan would say? You have to see and be able to discern which part is infiltrated and which part is not. So read and study for thyself. Show thyself approved. But you have to know that a lot of people, and I'm just talking about themselves, believe so much in themselves, and they're so arrogant and believe that they're right about every single thing, and they have not even studied or discerned the scriptures whatsoever. They really don't know what they're talking about, or they twist it on purpose. I mean, they literally twist it on purpose, and you've seen pastors that have twisted it to get people in their rooms, put it that way. So you have to discern and read the scripture for yourself, and then you have to have common sense to know that, okay, this is not right by the Most High. So you won't have that if your eyes are not open. You won't have that if you're not helped by the Most High. You won't have that if you don't look to the Most High and pray to the Most High to help you to discern right from wrong, to help you to discern who's truthful and who's not. It says, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So they have the way that seem is right to them, but the end thereof is the ways of death. They're just going to hell. They're just going to the fire, because they were sinning the whole time. You cannot sin the whole time, I will say that again, or depend on the blood and whatever. To think that another person can get you into heaven, well, that's ridiculous. To think you can sin the whole time and get in heaven, that's ridiculous. Because why would the Most High make commandments if they weren't meant to be followed? Isaiah 1:31. The strongest among you will disappear like straw. Their evil deeds will be the spark that sets it on fire. They and their evil works will burn up together, and no one will be able to put out the fire. So there's nobody that can help you. I'm sorry, but to say it, but none of the prophets can help you. They're not going to be able to help you. None of the people are going to be able to help you. They cannot put out the fire once the Most High has said you're going to hell. It's from your works. It's from your evil works. And they will burn up together. You and your evil works will burn up together. That's any of us. And there will be no one to put out the fire. So if you do sin the whole time, there is no one. I don't care who you name, what prophet you name. They will not be able to talk to the Most High for you and stop you from going to hell. They can't put out the fire. The Most High says so right here himself. There's nothing that they will be able to do. They said the strongest man. The strongest, it don't matter your strength. It don't matter who you are. People think their outside is what matters, and they're strong or they look like this or that. It doesn't matter. It's what's on the inside. It's your deeds. That's what's going to spark and set the fire. That's going to set you on fire. Your evil deeds are the spark, and it's going to set you on fire, and you will be in the pit. And that's what people don't realize. And no one, I will say that again, no one you name will be able to save you from the Most High. And that's just a fact. You can name the prophets. You can say Jesus. I don't care how you say Jesus, God, this and this and that. Jesus was not saying, Father, Father, why hast thou forsaken me, to himself? And even if you want to dispute that, he would not say none is good but the Father that is in heaven. You have to think something is wrong. And I'm not just only talking about Jesus. There's other people that, they claim prophets or this and that, as, they claim, oh, this is a prophet, but then they're pretty much putting him above God and saying that he can, come in and intervene for them, and they won't go to, hell for their sins. If you die sinning, you're going to hell. I don't care, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Seventh-day Adventist, whatever you are, keep sinning. You're not going to make it. I don't care, if you say I'm chosen, you in a group, whatever you are, you the Cams, you the, whatever you want to call yourself, you over there in Jerusalem, black people over there, or, whoever, if you die sinning, you're not going to heaven. You're going to hell. You're not going to make it. You can say whoever you want to say you are. Everybody in the world can claim chosen. But keep sinning and let's see what happens. You're not going to make it. So I'm going to move on. Isaiah 33:11. Your deeds are a straw that will be set on fire by your very own breath. So by what you speak, by what you say. Because people don't realize that, they hear life and death is at the end of your tongue and things like that, but they don't follow it. So if you're saying evil things, you're gossiping, you're doing all sorts of things, well, you're going to end up in a fire. You're going to end up in a pit because it's called sinning. That's sinning. If you're downing, people or whatever it may be, you're going to end up in a pit. If you're putting up people that you know are sinning, you know are off the path, and you're putting them up like, oh, this is okay, and you're doing your best to lead them astray, because you know you're leading them astray. You're saying it's okay what you do, brother, sister. It is not. You have to admonish, you have to rebuke them and let them know, okay, you're off the path. If you cared, you would. But a lot of people don't care, and that's the problem. A lot of people don't care enough to say, hey, brother, hey, sister, I love you. You off the path right now. You're not following the Most High's commandments. Come on, let's get this together. A lot of people don't care to do that. A lot of people just want to, grumble about what they're not getting, what this person is not doing, how this person is acting, and what this and this and that, and they gossip a lot about things and don't realize that can send you to hell. If you have a problem with your brother or your sister, go to them. If they will not listen, then you get witnesses. If they, other people, if they will not listen to that, then you take it to the congregation, or you just take it to the congregation. Sometimes you have to get somebody else to join in, somebody to witness the situation, and sometimes you just have to take it to the congregation because you want that person to get help, and it doesn't matter who it is. It could be me, anyone. I always say to people, if you have a problem with me, just tell me. And my husband said the same thing, but we were straight in this house, and we still are. Straight to, we just talk straight, and we're going to tell each other, okay, this is not right, by the Most High, this is not right. Maybe you should change this or that. We straight talk, so we don't understand people that don't just straight talk. They got to go sideways with everything they saying and doing. We don't understand that. Because we learn to just talk straight, and you resolve and fix more problems that way. And you also learn that a lot of things you're thinking, a lot of things that you're saying is just a misunderstanding. We learned to cope. And that's what my husband was saying, learn to cope, because a lot of our people did not learn to cope with things while they were young. The way we coped is yelling, hollering, screaming, fighting. We didn't learn how to cope. So it's like we have to learn how to cope with things. And it's not just our people. You see it happening all over. The truth is coming out. But I'm just talking about our people. We got to learn how to cope. We got to learn how to resolve and talk straight to one another. If there is an issue, say it. What are you afraid of? Why do you fear? You should not fear people. You should not try to please people either. You shouldn't do that. You should say it straight, say it respectfully, and resolve it and let it go. Forgive and forget and let it go. And even if you can't forgive it and let it go. And you should eventually forget it. You have to remember that you have sinned yourself. You have to remember that you have done people wrong yourself. You have to remember that you weren't so perfect. And you have to remember that we all have had it hard sometime or some point in our life. So it's just best to talk about it and get some understanding. And that's for all of us. So what you say can cause you to go to the pit, as well as what you think, as well as your actions, your deeds. Isaiah 47:14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. So you won't be able to deliver yourselves from the power of the flame, and no one else will. You will be like stubble. You will be like the wood, the coal, whatever you want to call it, that starts the fire. And it's all because of yourself. It's not because of anybody else. It's because of the things you did and said and thought. Stop blaming other people for your issues. Look at yourself. If you start fixing yourself, you will see that everything will get better. Stop blaming everybody else and fix yourself. Down on 12:10. Many shall be purified and made, I will say pure, because it says made white, but it means pure. It means you will have light. And you will be tried. It says, and tried. You will be tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. but the wise shall understand. So those who the Most High give wisdom will understand. Those who the Most High purify and, make them pure, give them light, give them His Spirit, and are tried. You will be tried. You will go through tests and trials. And you also will be punished for the things that you have done. You can't get out of that. But one thing that, to me, is a positive outlook to it is, you get tried or you tested, or, you're getting payback for your sins now. You may not have to do it later. You may be, able to make it into the kingdom. So you have to look at it that way, So, you're going to be tried and tested. But what will happen in the end is worth it. You going to the kingdom will be worth it. Daniel 11:35. Some of the wise will fall, so that they may be refined, purified, and made spotless until the time of the end. For it will still come at the appointed time. So some of the wise will fall. Just like I said earlier, you'll fall, but you have to get up. You have to seek the Most High, and you have to realize that things that happen in your life are a lesson. They're for a reason. And this is what we have to realize. So everything, like the Most High says, happens for the good, for those who believe. So you may fall. The wise may fall. They will fall. You fall and you get back up. So it says they will fall. So people think that just because a person fell, or just because a person did things before, and people hold things like, about people doing things before they even knew better, or the way they started out. It's the way they end up that counts. It's did they continue to work towards righteousness? When they fell, did they get back up? Did they keep trying? Did they keep seeking the Most High? Did they keep working and striving to do the Most High's commandments? So people will fall. The wise will fall. The wisdom comes from the Most High. You think you know something until you get with the Most High, and then you find out that you were pretty dumb. And I know this firsthand, not only from myself, but from others. You're doing a lot of things that are not smart, that are really dumb, putting your life at risk, going out, walking late at night, whatever it may be that people do, getting into arguments, getting into fights, some people, doing other things. And you don't realize that you were not wise whatsoever. You thought you were. But when you get with the Most High, then and only then do you really, truly get knowledge. Then and only then are you truly wise. Your eyes are only opened then. You think your eyes are open now to something, but when you really, truly get the Spirit of the Most High and you get with the Most High, then your eyes are open, to what is real and what is not. So it says some of the wise will fall, so that they may be refined, purified, and made spotless until the time of the end, for it will come at the appointed time. So you may fall more than once, but you get back up and you keep going, and like the Most High said, so that they may be refined, purified, and made spotless. So things that happen to you, as I said before, you're either going to learn from them, grow from them, you're going to get stronger, or you're just going to fail and you're going to give in to the norm. Out here and what people are doing nowadays, chasing, after anything that they can, give praise and worship to, because I don't care what it is. If it's money, shoes, cars, hair, nails, I don't care what it is, makeup, people's bodies, whatever it may be, you're giving worship to it. Those that you call so-called celebrities and stars, you're giving worship to them. You're treating them as their God. The same way you're treating a person, if you're putting that person, woman or man, above God, you're treating them like their God, like they're the ones that can say yay or nay or put you in hell or heaven. You may not even realize it, but you're being told today that you are worshiping these things. This is what you look up to as a god. This is what you are worshiping. It doesn't have to be some wooden statue standing in front of you and then, oh, that's only worship if it's that. No, it's anything that you put above God. Anything that you chase and obey more than God. Anything, anyone that, you see, you're supposed to be over there praying and you're sitting here kissy face with this one over here, or, oh, I love that so-called star. That is not what you're supposed to do. Or I'm out, I ain't got time for praying today, I gotta go out here and wash my car, or whatever it may be. I gotta go get, my body, my hair, my nails done. Whatever you think is more important, or you're treating more important than the Most High, hey, that's what you worship. That's just the truth. So, like it said, yeah, the wise will fall, but they're going to get back up. They're going to realize, okay, this was something I was doing wrong, or, so I got to change this. They're going to sit there and contemplate on what the Most High is giving them in their hearts and their mind. And no matter what it comes to, people, things, something you may see, a sign, a dream. They're going to discern these things, and they're going to seek the Most High for guidance. And then they're going to work to get themselves together if, you're convicted about it, if you know that this is wrong. Some people know it's wrong and they still want to be in denial, but when you know it's wrong and you feel that conviction and you're like, okay, this is probably not the best thing to do, you're going to work to change that. And everything is not easy. It's not. It takes work from your part, but, it has to be the Most High that says, okay, I'm going to lift this off of you, But sometimes you have to go through it to learn, and you might go through it for a minute, until you work and really want to get rid of it, to learn that this is not what you want to do, whatever it may be. This is not what you want to say. This is not what you want to think. So, that's when it comes down to being refined and purified and made spotless. Everything comes together with the Most High's will. It is not something that's out of the Most High's will. It happened so you can think, so you can get your life together, so you can realize something. So, you have to make a choice, because like it says, for it will come at the appointed time. And it's talking about the end. It said until the end of time. So it'll be happening until the end of time. You're going to have to be refined, purified, and spotless. So things are going to be happening. And you're going to have to decide if you're going to cry about them, make excuses about them. Well, what happened in my life? Okay, it happened in pretty much everybody's life. Different things. You can't say that yours is worse than the other person's, because for them it might be worse. To them, whatever they went through. Just like for you, whatever you went through is bad or worse. You can't disregard somebody else's for your own. And you can't make that as an excuse to treat other people bad or continue to do wrong. That's not going to be accepted, but you can try. That's not going to be accepted by the Most High, but you can try. You have to realize that there's not going to be any excuses, because the Most High right now is giving everybody time to get themselves together. And for those who pass, He gave them time to get themselves together. Gave them time to submit themselves to Him, bow to Him, to obey His commandments. There will be no excuses. I'm just saying, and the end will come at His appointed time. And when the end comes, whether it's you passed, you're not here no more, or whether it's the whole end of the whole earth, you will have to face the Most High, and you won't have an excuse, and you're going to one or two places. I will say that again. You're going to heaven or you're going to hell. Daniel 12:3. Then the wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who led many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. That's beautiful. The wise, those who are wise enough to straighten up, wise enough to follow the Most High's commandments. Those who have the Spirit from the Most High, those who the Most High opened their eyes, gave them wisdom, gave them knowledge. They will shine like the brightness of the heavens. Can you imagine? Oh, it's beyond our imagination, truly. And those who led many to righteousness. So those who led many to righteousness. It doesn't just say only certain people. It said those who led many to righteousness. And when I'm saying only people, when this man and woman thing. So yes, women are not priests. I do believe that. Women are not the ones that get up there and speak and, I guess what you would call the pulpit, the podium, and saying they're priests. But can they speak on a platform like this? Yes. Can they say, because this is just a platform. This is not in like any temple, church, masjid, whatever you want to say. This is not in any synagogue. This is not in any of that. And even then it says for them to ask their husbands, not go ask the, whatever you call a rabbi, minister, priest, whatever you want to say, not to go ask them, but to ask their own husbands. Ask their husbands, wait and ask their husbands, what did this mean, or what did this mean that the, whoever the leader was said, the messenger, whoever, what was the meaning of this, or what do you think on this? Because all in all, the man runs the home. He's the head. So she should go to her own husband and ask, okay, what is the meaning of this? Because a lot of people have their own opinions, their own understanding. A lot of people do lean to their own understanding too as well. But a lot of people have their own discernment, their own understanding of what this is, or, what they believe is being said. They could say, you don't obey your husband. You get up in his face, smack him. So are you supposed to listen to that? No. So you ask your own husband. But when it says about those who led many to righteousness, it's talking about whoever. And the reason why I say that is because there are mothers who talk to their children, about righteousness. And grandmothers and kids that talk to their parents. Sometimes the parents don't know, and the kids talk to them and they come to righteousness. Well, do you think those children are not going to have, the credit that, that they listened to the Most High and led, people to righteousness? So are the women, so are the men. It's leading them to righteousness. You're not their leader, you're not the messenger, it's just giving them the word. And you begun that process, because, it's not always that they come right away, or that they start serving the Most High or obeying the commandments right away. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes, though, that the word that you put there sticks. It's like people in my life. There's different people, that said certain things, and some of what they said stuck with me. Sometimes you believe stuff, like my husband said. He didn't believe he could make it at all. So he would, and this was when he was a kid, he was younger. He didn't believe he could make it at all, or whatever. And so he just said, well, I might as well just sin and do bad, or whatever. And there was some little boy came up to him and said, talk to him and ask him, they were talking. And he was like, just ask for forgiveness, and always be grateful, tell the Most High what you're grateful for every day. And always be grateful and ask for forgiveness. He was saying, and the Most High will forgive you, and you can make it, do what the Most High said. Sometimes it's not like, oh, right away he just got himself together and did what was right. He was younger, and that's no excuse if he knew better. Obviously he didn't know too much better, because he thought that no matter what he did, he was going to go, to hell. But I will say this, that there are people, even when I was young, even as we got older, and I'm just using this as an example, because I know other people have went through this, that something they said kind of planting the seed, but that wasn't them, that was the Most High planting the seed through different people. So those people, they are going to still get blessings. for that seed that they planted in you, that they listened to the Most High and went on and said it. Because a lot of times when it comes to people telling people the truth, people don't want to say nothing, but those who listen to the Most High and say something, that blessing is still there for them. The more that person goes on from what they said and listening, and that what they said is ringing in their ear, that's a blessing for them as well as the person that's doing it. So it's those who led many to righteousness, like the stars, forever and ever. So they will shine like the stars forever and ever, and they will shine like brightness of the heavens. The wise will, and those who led righteous, who led many to righteousness, like they will shine like the stars forever and ever. So we should speak, we should say the truth, we should do what the Most High asks us to do, and that's what we should do. We should realize that even a child can tell you the truth. Sometimes we as older people, we're stuck in our ways and we're not doing what's right. We don't want to listen because we think we're above that, and we don't realize that's arrogance. We think we're above listening to anyone else, and that's arrogance. Whether it's listening to, our men, or the men listening to the women, as in not listening as in they're bossing you, but listening when they say, look, honey, and I'm talking about the women with their husbands, or look, to a brother or whatever, look, maybe you should do this or that, or thus saith the Lord this or that. Well, if the Lord done said it, you should listen to it, especially if you're going wrong. It has nothing to do with a man or a woman thing when it comes to that. I agree, men are the priests. I don't think too many women want to be priests. There are some, but I'm just speaking for myself. I don't want to be a priest or anything like that. This is something that my husband asked me to do. You didn't hear me on here before. I wasn't even sitting next to him saying anything before. You didn't hear me on here saying this. And when you did hear my daughters and I, we were on a different channel, and we were just speaking about, where we came from, and, how things change and this and that. Same thing we speak about now, and we will say scriptures, and this, now we're allowed to say scriptures. We're allowed to read the book. I've heard that women are not allowed to read the book. That would not make sense, because we have to, show ourselves approved too to make it to heaven, So, I think there's a lot of things that are misunderstood, about some things when it comes to women and when it comes to men. Some things are misunderstood. Women think they're supposed to act like men and tell them what to do, and, I don't know. I didn't mean to even get on this, but I think we need to work together and realize that, okay, women have a place and men have a place, true enough. But also, all women, men, and children have a responsibility to say what thus said the Lord, especially when we see somebody going wrong. You don't see somebody going wrong and just let them, because their blood's going to be on your hands. You don't just sit there if, you can say something that might help someone and just sit there and let the blood be on your hands. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So only a few are going to make it. This is me saying this, and a few scriptures I told you about. So only a few are going to make it. So you must give this world up and those in it who do not desire to do God's will. Changing what's on the inside is key. So changing what's on the inside of you is key. And it can't be done without God's help. So it can't be done without the help of the Most High, without the help of God. And you wanting to change and putting forth the effort to do so. Stop pretending to change and honestly change. Honestly change, people. Stop pretending like you changed and you know that you have. You know that. You know you haven't changed. You know you're still sneaking and doing stuff. You know you're still thinking about the same thing and leaning towards that desire. Stop pretending and really change. Because when it's the end, however it comes to you, whether you pass or whether the whole world is destroyed, which it is, or whether it's tomorrow or, the next second from now, you don't have a chance anymore to get it together. So here are some scriptures I found for you. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. So you'll be able to test and approve of what God's will is for you. So you will know what God's will is for you. Don't conform to what the world is doing, the pattern of the world, the trend of the world. Be transformed. Change. Transform your mind. Change yourself. And I know you cannot do it without the Most High's help, but you gotta want it. You gotta want to do it. You gotta want to change. Instead of leaning towards that desire that you really want so bad, pray and fast. Want to change. Want to please the Most High. Once you transform your mind, then you will be able to test and approve. That means you will be wise. You will be able to understand what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. And, you will be able to see and discern and test those who say they believe, test whether they are not or whether they are, and also test and approve what God's will is. God's will is for you to follow His commandments. God's will is for you to be not unequally yoked and to be with the ones who believe and that are going to stay there and that are true, and that are righteous. There's not a lot of people like that. A lot of people are not real. The truth comes out in the end of who they really are. So you will be able to approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. So you will be able to know. You will know. Psalms 30:5. For His anger endures but a moment. In His favor is life. So if you're in His favor, you get life in the kingdom. It's life. It's not death. It's life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. So no matter what happens, that's for a moment. That's just a moment in time in your life. And that's what that means. This is a moment in time in your life. If you hang in there and you endure, joy cometh in the morning. You will see a change made in your life. And the end outweighs the beginning. Going to paradise outweighs anything that you can think of on this earth that you went through. If you make it to paradise, you will live in bliss and happiness forever. You will have what you desire, what you want, that is good and pure. But if you keep wanting the things of this world, you're not going to make it. And it says, for His anger endureth but a moment. Yes, He gets angry. Yes, you get punished. But if you hang in there, because you got to remember, it's because of you. It's because of the sin you did. But He has always forgiven us. When you're in His favor, is life, It's life. Weeping endures for a night. Whatever you go through, and it endures for a small time. You don't have to just waddle in the mud like a pig. And you will have joy. Joy comes in the morning. I mean, joy comes soon. Just perfect peace. That comes in the morning if you just wait it out and stop giving up and stop leaving the Most High. Stop blaming the people for what you're going through. Stop being deceived by the Satan because you want to, because you're leaning towards something that you desire or you want that ain't right. And the people that's leading you there, they know it ain't right. But I don't look at them. I look at whether you're letting it happen or are you fighting to get away? Are you fighting to stay with the Most High? Are you fighting to get away from that sin? To get away from the people that are not right? Or even if, okay, say you thought they were your friends. Okay, but there's some point in time when the sum ain't right. Ephesians 4:22-24. You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by It's deceitful desires, which is exactly what I said. That's your old self. That's you. That's your thought. And you're being corrupted by your own deceitful desires. You want to do that. You're deceiving yourself trying to say, I don't desire that. Yes, you do. You're being corrupted by your own self, by what you want to do. You're supposed to put off your old self, the past things you did, and don't try to do them in a new form. People try to do it in a new form and say, well, it's different though. Well, I changed. No, you didn't. It's the same thing, just you're trying to put it in a new form. Other people can see it's the same, but you're trying to make it like it's something new you're doing. So you're to be made new in that attitude of your minds. So, your mind has to be renewed. You have to be made new in your mind. It's like I said, it's about the inside. Thinking it's the outside. If I look this way, if I look that way, if I get this, if I get that, then, no, I don't know. No. Or if I just look the part of righteousness, no. You have to change what's on the inside. It does matter what you wear, as in people who think it doesn't. I can show, my butt down the street and still be righteous. Really? Is that what the Most High wants you to do? Because, number one, you're hindering others that can, be saved by the Most High, or could have been saved by the Most High. And then number two, you're exposing yourself. You're not looking, I'm not going to look at you and think that you are of the Most High. No matter whether you're male or female. You're showing everything, then you take your shirt off showing everything, or the women think that, I show this and show that. I don't look at you like that, and I don't think too many people are going to look at you like that. Except for those who are lusty, and I say lusty, not that there's a word, but those who are lusty and desire just body parts. They don't care about belief, or if you're wise, if you have a mind, or anything. So 24, that was 23. And to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. So you have to put on your new self. And when it says created to be like God, it doesn't mean we're gods. I wish people would stop that. But it's you're created to, it's an action to be righteous. God created you. When it says to be like himself, to be righteous, it's not to be him. He's the only God. But it's to be righteous, to speak righteous, to act righteous, to do the commandments that he said for you to do. And that's what it means. It does not mean, that you're some little G, So people need to stop that. And you can believe what you want to believe. Go ahead. Because all you're saying is that that there's more than one God. And again, you're worshiping yourself. Just like I said, if you're worshiping other people or deities or money or material, well, now you're worshiping yourself. You're saying you're a God. So I guess you added yourself. So it was 3. Y'all claim, some of y'all claim. So I guess you added yourself in 4. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I will say this, that for us who believe, remember that there's only a remnant of us that's going to make it. Small portion. And if you don't hold on, you're not going to be going. And you have a choice. You have to make a choice. And you have to clean yourself from the inside out. Not from, thinking that, the outward appearance. Like if you dress the part of a righteous person. Or, saying that you're righteous and you look like you should be, in a strip bar or corner somewhere. That's for men and women, all of you will change. All of you. Like I said, from the inside out. Because once it's changed on the inside, well, you're going to start covering yourself and doing what it takes on the outside. A lot of you fool yourself to think you're righteous. To think that you have the Spirit. It's just like it said, you fool yourself. You, I guess, deceive yourself to make yourself believe that you are on the right track and that you are right, or that you are pure or clean. You need to really search yourself. You need to really get on your hands and knees and face and everything else, and ask the Most High, you know, am I right about what I'm doing? You need to really discern, are you right? You know, you put your face in the word, and am I right? You know, what does the word say about it? What does the commandment say about it? So that's pretty much all I had to say. I plan on doing more videos, and also on my own channel, for the love of rap, putting out some more videos. I put out one, but I'm gonna put out some more of his videos, as well as my own, on different channels, which my own will be on different channels, but also mainly on mine. I thank you guys for listening, and I hope it helps someone, if it's only one person. This is Rap's wife. Peace.